Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. It is Trade Show Tuesday. Let's go. I've been excited for this all week. We've been cranking out content for the last several days, trying to get you guys prepared for your Dynasty trades. Today, we are literally going to go over 23 plus your super chats. Brock, we do that every single time. We talk about the different super chats, the things that we're going to give away. Tonight, I'm excited because we're going to give away, if we hit 20, which we always do, we're going to give away a special code for draftkits.co. I'm going to throw it up here on the board, but if you guys want to scroll through here, it's draftkits.co. If you guys go over there and you use code DAD25, you will get 10% off. They have, honestly, the best draft boards I've ever seen. I use them for all my regular redraft occasions. You can see there, high color, different graphics. We have it set up for things as far as auctions, Dynasty, IDP. They got it all. So if you guys go win today, you will get a free board. Jump over there, draftkits.co, use code DAD25. You'll get 10% off. And, we're going to go ahead and do with the usual. 5, we'll give away a basic, 10, 15, 20. Every single week, it keeps getting crazier, right? Like the amount of trades that we get. Last week, we covered 54 trades. Wow. I don't know how you keep it going. I don't know how we do it, but I love what you do, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is always a blast coming on here Tuesday nights, circling it, and it's going to get interesting, obviously, once we get some rookie hype, maybe during, training camp, and once you see the video, someone starts to break out. It's like even just one play in training camp can make people swing a different direction. If maybe, a player's getting more run with the ones than another, Scadabo's getting more run with the ones than maybe Tracy, he jumps up a couple rounds. It's going to be crazy, but there's no better time than now. We got the Hall of Fame game at the end of this month, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and Snoog, I mean, you went on your vacation. I'm about to go on mine. I want to make as many Dynasty trades as possible. This time of year is interesting because, like he alluded to, OTAs, we had a ton of different, opportunities. We're going to get another shot here once camp rolls around. You're going to get a lot more buzz, a lot of opportunities to make some Dynasty trades.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited for right now. It's training camp. It's rolling around. We're getting close. Brock said the Hall of Fame game's kicking around. That fall, like that September Sunday morning, Scott Hansen, that cup of coffee, like texting dad, who do I start this week? Like that nostalgia and that throwback feeling and that vibe is already like starting to hit me. And I was just talking about it with my girlfriend today. Like, I can't wait for those days. Like, those days are coming pretty quick. So we're about 2 months away from that. So I'm excited to jump into this trade show because sooner and later it's going to be start-sit shows rolling around.
Yeah, that's great. We're like less than 9 weeks away. Let's jump out. Let's do this first trade, which is also a super chat. So let's jump in.
Let's do it. Appreciate the super chat here, Justo FPS. We got one side with RJ Harvey and Quinshon Judkins. Nice pair of rookie running backs. Also Tyrone Tracy, Devontae Adams, and Ben Sinnott. Other side, Gibbs and Njoku, and a first and third in 2027. I'm going to throw this one over to Snoog here. What do we think?
Get it out, Dad. That's all I'm going to say. Get it out.
We're doing that right off the bat. Justo's a great guy. I mean, he won one of our the opportunity to be in Smash 20. Declined that. And that's that spot where Snoog and I are drafting right now. He's going to be in one of the other leagues. But honestly, we worked through this trade. We kind of cooked it together where it started out much bigger. It was one of those trades where the right side had 9 guys, the left side had 8 guys, and we worked it down. And I'm like, dude, ultimately we want Gibbs here. So let's take out some of these pieces like Jalen Wright was in there and, Jalen Royals, some guys like that. I was like, let's strip this down. Let's get a 27 first in there. Let's smash the heck out of this, and that's really, you're honestly, in my opinion, you're getting the best player. Arguably, if that 27 first becomes mid, you get the second best player. It's an absolute smash. I love this because this is just one of those opportunities where we dominated a trade. We put it together on YouTube. We took it over to Twitter. We continued the dialogue, continues with what we do is, the Snoog, Brock, and I are trying to do with the community. And then he throws a super chat in here just thanking me, and that's like, honestly, the coolest thing because that's a trade that he threw a super chat in here, but he's literally going to be winning money with that type of league. That's a league winning type move. Couple super chats jumping in here already. So let's hit them up.
Let's do it. Next one coming in from Prism. Appreciate the super chat. He said, "What's up, boys?" He kind of regrets the trade already, but he wants our opinion. He traded Brian Thomas Jr. and Caleb Johnson for Justin Jefferson. Should he regret this, Dad, or is that a good deal?
I think it's a good deal. I mean, I think Caleb Johnson's going to be fine. I think the gap between these guys, I see a scenario. Jefferson injured, 1,700 yards, whatever happens this year, his value is not changing much at all. Brian Thomas Jr., if he dips a little bit with Travis Hunter, you crush this deal. Even if he maintains his value, I think Caleb Johnson's a fine player, but I think this is a Justin Jefferson all day for me. And Prism is our newest guy in the Discord. He won one of our giveaways last week to get in there. So, I mean, Snoog, I like Brian Thomas Jr. I know you do too, but the gap for me to get to Justin Jefferson is still more.
Yeah, I think Jefferson's one of like the few guys that you can really rely on that's a non-quarterback in super flex, like Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Neighbors, Gibbs, Bijan, maybe even Ashton Genty, to be guys that are like true league winners, like can single-handedly help carry your team with a big year. I just don't think Brian Thomas Jr. is quite on that Jefferson level for me to tear back and get a Caleb Johnson. I think it's great, good value trade. I just wouldn't want to do this if I'm trading Jefferson.
Yeah, and Caleb's not even a guy that, if this was a running back more in that 10 to 12 range, Caleb's not even a guy that, even if he blows up, this is not going to be a trade that you're going to necessarily lose.
Now, what if we replaced Caleb with either one of those rookie running backs, Henderson, Judkins?
Yeah.
Making that side.
That's what it should. That's what it should be if you want to get that done. But this is much cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next super chat coming in from D. Appreciate it, D. He said, "Love of the game, me, Smash fam. Let's do it. Let's give him a cowbell for love of the game."
Hey, I love that one, D. Appreciate you. It's been Snoog over the last couple of months. I mean, so many guys just jumping in here for those kind of comments. I love it. It keeps the show going. It shows appreciation. I love you guys.
All right, moving on here. Trade 2 coming from Phil over on Twitter. We got one side with Cooper Kupp, Kyler Murray, and a second in 2027. Other side with Baker and a first in 2027. Snoog, what are we thinking on this one?
Give me the guy that had 4,500 yards and 41 touchdown passes, and I'm getting a 1-2 swap in favor of my side in that 27 class.
Yeah,
love Kyler Murray. I do think he can bounce back and kind of gain his name back, but Baker's out there to throw the ball 50 times a game with his new toy, Emeka Egbuka, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, with a poor defense. And that 27 first is just staring at me. So I love that trade. I love that side of the deal as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love Kyler Murray. Snoog and I are in Smash Except 20. I just traded Drake May for Kyler Murray and what looks to be a random to mid 26 first. I just think Kyler Murray is going to put up an insane amount of points. I just drafted him in Scott Fishbowl. It's at 15 at the 4-5 wrap. I took him and Marv after going Nico, Bowers, Hurts. I'm feeling good. Like in a format like that, though, you want to have a stack. You want to have something to go up and above and beyond. I think the gap between Baker and Murray is very negligible. So, I mean, I have Murray higher than Baker, I think maybe by a second round pick. So depending how you look at this, if this is a late 27 first, I'm fine taking the Kyler Murray side there. If it's truly 100% going to be late, where I get Murray, who I think is going to score more points than Baker this year. I have both of them top 10, though. Kyler's got a little bit more insulation with the age. Kupp is the wild card here. If Kupp bounces back, this becomes a really nice looking trade. I have no problem with the left-hand side if you're all in. I am with Snoog, though. If that 27 first even has a glimpse to be mid, you got to go with the 27 first side. Those things are like gold. Like the amount of players you can get for a 26 first. I mean, Snoog, you can get whatever you want. Like that's the crazy part is there are only a handful of guys that are worth more than what people think is a random 27 first. And it just keeps growing.
That wide receiver class is going to be special. Like you can already tell, like with the 26 class, you don't even know who's going to be good besides like 2 guys right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be juniors.
And they're not even as good as Cam Coleman or maybe even TJ Moore.
Exactly. That's what's crazy is when you get a class like this where they're already all good as freshmen, sophomores, it's going to be special.
For sure. We got some special super chats coming in here.
All right. Appreciate the super chat here, Darren. He said it's PPR and 0.25 point per carry. We got one side with Hampton, Worthy, and Charbonnet. Other side, Ladd, Tracy, and a 26 first. We'll call this mid for now, Dad. What do we think here?
All right. I think Ladd and Hampton at this point are they're interchangeable in value. I mean, I think the 0.25 PPC makes it where Hampton has a slight lean, but not a big lean. The 26 first and Worthy, I think, are pretty much a wash too. I mean, as long as if that's mid, then I'm leaning towards the Hampton side. The interesting part for me is I like Tracy, but I'm starting to fall in love with Zach Charbonnet because right now Kenneth Walker's on a contract year. Kenneth Walker has another injury-plagued season. Charbonnet is going to take over as the lead back in Seattle, and I think is a guy that I'm trying to stash wherever I can. I lean the Ladd side slightly, but it's really close. I mean, it's all about where's that 26 first. If it's late, it's Hampton. If it's mid, if it's fair, if it's early, it's Ladd. And that's kind of where I'm going. And I think sometimes you really got to diagnose that and dig deep. And Snoog and I do that in the Discord all the time. Snoog, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I really want that first over Worthy. It's Ladd versus Hampton and a 0.25 per carry, which kind of hold me back. I just feel like I can do more with a random 26 first than I can with Worthy. Like if someone's not a Worthy truther, then I'm stuck with them, right? And if the league isn't like Worthy, you're stuck with them. In this type of deal, you're getting a foundational wide receiver. Yeah, you lose an elite young running back, but with that 26 first, go buy a Josh Jacobs plus, go buy Kenneth Walker plus, go buy these type of running backs that are going to outscore Worthy, and then Ladd will probably be on par with Hampton in terms of production or better. So I think you can do more with the Ladd side.
And right now, I mean, guys, this is the best time to join the Smash Accept Patreon. You go over to patreon.com/Smash Accept. Through there, we'll send you a link to the Discord. We break down people's rosters on the daily. We look at other things like this where we help you diagnose what they're going to be worth. We're soon going to have start sits. We literally do everything that we would do for our own dynasty rosters. And that's why people like Doof come in here. And now we got a new hashtag for Smash.
We got a hashtag.
Hashtag FLOTG for the love of the game. Doof, we appreciate you. That's a fantastic one. But that's really what is driving things there is everybody's coming in. They want to see what their dynasty rosters will look like. At the end of the day, they want to be hoisting these bad boys up. You know what I mean? It's all about winning those trophies. It's about stacking that cash. Winning. And that's what we're here to do to help you guys.
All right. And our next super chat's coming in from Patrick S. Appreciate it, Patrick. He said he would be getting Travis Hunter, but giving Waddle, AR, and Will Howard. Is that a smash, boys?
Yo, give me Hunter all day long. I'm not even the Hunter guy. I'm not even the Hunter guy, but that's a smash. When you can take a guy like Waddle, who's solid, right? But Anthony Richardson has a ton of volatility. Hunter's going to be special. I like that.
All right. Next one coming in from Matthew Miller. Appreciate the super chat, Matt. We got Bowers or Nico and Loveland. Snoog, high on Loveland, but what do we think on here?
I want the Nico side here.
Woo!
I do. And I know it's probably not the talk of the chat, which what everyone else would do, but I'm so high on what Nico can do, and Colson Loveland's my tight end 3 in Dynasty right now, and I do think he has the upside to be not a Bowers, but maybe a McBride, or definitely a better Laporta or like a Mark Andrews type of tight end in this Ben Johnson offense. But I just think Nico Collins is going to do ridiculous things this year, and wide receiver 1 overall type outcome is in his bag for sure with CJ Stroud, with this new revamped offense, new weapons surrounding him. So all the focus isn't on him. He's going to be a guy, if he plays a full 17 games, to put up, 16, 17, 1,800 yards, and he'll score a ton of touchdowns as well. So I just think there's more upside, and I like 2-for-1 deals like this where you're getting 2 stud assets.
Yeah, and Snoog's a little bit higher on Loveland than I am. Brock Bowers to me is untouchable.
Hard to trade Bowers.
I'm not giving up. Because the gap for me, I mean, this year, the gap between Bowers and Loveland is at least 120 points, at least, if not more, especially whatever your premium is. So it's a matter of like, what does your other, wide receiver room look like? To me, I'm actually making this trade in a rebuild. Like, I'm now at a point where if I can get Brock Bowers or McBride in a rebuild, this is like prime Travis Kelce for 5 years or more. Go do that now. Because that's not something that's going to affect your rebuild. Nico Collins is going to be He's 26, going to be 27 years old next year. At this point, give me Bowers. Use the elite upside, but I think Brock Bowers is like, I say don't trade Neighbors. Bowers is the one guy where I'm like, I will not trade Brock Bowers or Josh Allen unless you bring me the most ridiculous trade offer ever. And it was kind of cool. I got him in Smash Accept 20 for Josh Allen. I now have 48.6% ownership of Josh Allen across my 22 leagues. Like that was when this podcast really got popular was when I had Josh Allen as a breakout star before he was. Same with Jalen Hurts, and that's really where you can hang your hats on guys. So Brock Bowers is that guy right now. You just can't. I'm not moving him.
Look at the comments. Stop giving super chats. Snoogs obviously has a PED issue.
All right. Welcome back, Crystal Catching Outdoors. Recognize the name. Appreciate the super chat. We got a Superflex 12-team start 10, no tight end premium. He's got Jefferson and Jonnu, and he's getting offered McBride, Addison, and a 27 first, or Jaden Higgins instead of Addison, or McBride, Tet, and Spears. Would you pull the trigger on any? So first, let's start with McBride, Addison, or first, Addison or Jaden Higgins. Snoog, how do you see that one?
I would take Addison over Jaden Higgins. This is tough. Like, the thing with me is, like, I love Tet. I'm not the biggest Addison fan, but I did just take him in a $200 league, so I'll convince myself on being a Jordan Addison.
I knew that was coming. And right as soon as you picked it, I go, that's totally off brand. Like, he took Addison. Like, that's a dad guy. That's not a Snoog guy.
It almost becomes then Addison and a 27 first or Tet and Spears, Dad. What are you taking between those?
Yeah.
The other parts of the trade.
I'm taking
McBride's the same.
McBride, Addison, and a 27 first. In a 10-team league, you want premium assets. I know Jefferson is, but McBride's a freaking league winner. Then the other cool part about a 10-team league is
it's
now
a 12
we know
team. It's a 12 team.
12-team start 10. I'm sorry.
It's no tight end premium, though. That's where I'm getting stuck.
I'm still taking this 27 first unless it's late. If it's late, I don't want it. But if it has a chance, if it's mid or early,
top 6,
I think then I take Addison and I flip him for something. You know, where I take Addison in a first and try to get, a JSN type. I get myself another wide receiver. Then I look at this and I was like, if you put Addison and the 27 first together, you're going to get something special. You're going to get a Garrett Wilson type. And then you have Garrett Wilson and McBride or Jefferson and Jonnu. You just can't. If you can get Trey McBride, you do it. If you can get Brock Bowers, you do it because they're league winners that absolutely you just can't buy. You shouldn't be able to, and it's almost impossible. Like they are such a differential for everybody else. I got to find this one here from Talon. We got to try to. Didn't know how to do super chats. Replied to it though. Do we have a spot where he has that?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Just drop it like you just dropped that comment, Talon, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get you there no matter what. So, all right, let's jump back to our regularly scheduled program, right? And Snoog, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I get so caught up trading Justin Jefferson. Like I don't wake up and I'm like, all right, let's trade Justin Jefferson.
No, you got to be out there, and I mean, in that one, throw in Jaden Higgins now. Throw in one of these other guys. He's probably in that spot where if you get Higgins on top of that, I'm going to smash it. I'm all in.
I have a follow-up question with that, Dad. How do you go about if you own a Jefferson, if you own a Chase, if you own a Lamb, if you own a Neighbors, if you own a Bowers, if you own a Gibbs? What is the only circumstance you're trading a guy like that?
Well, in this particular situation, a lot of rebuilds have Justin Jefferson. I did a roster evaluation today where I said to the guy, he had CeeDee Lamb and he's starting to rebuild. And I said, well, your first trade is CeeDee Lamb. And he's like, what? Why? Because he's 25, 26. If we're rebuilding, that means we're 2 years out. By the time we get there, he's going to be 27, 28. Get yourself a Neighbors. Get yourself a BTJ plus. Get yourself, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Drake London. Get yourself a plus. Get 2 years younger and get a first on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trading those type of players. If I'm contending, I'm not even considering it unless I think you can make Jefferson for Nico in a 27 first. Then I'm okay with it. But it's got to be. There's only about 18 assets I'd even consider tearing down to. Out of those first 2 rounds,
staying in that foundational. area.
Exactly. I don't want to flip him unless I absolutely need to, because I have too many other depths. And sometimes your roster is built to win, but you have no depth at all. So you trade a Gibbs and Stephon Diggs for Devon A-Chain and another foundational wide receiver. I don't like doing it, but sometimes it's like the last case scenario before you rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, moving on here to trade 3, coming from FD Forecast from the Patreon. We got one side with Rome Odunze and Jamison Williams, other side Rashi and a random 27 first. We know what Snoog's thinking, Dad. What side are we taking here?
This is a double cowbell. This is my boy
Double wins.
FD Forecast literally just joined the Patreon today. He got in the chat with Dad, and this is the first question that he asked. And I'm like, smash. Okay, you get Rashi over Rome. You get a 27 first over JMO. This is how you cook. This is how you end up winning. And I think the way this comes about is you got a guy on one side that likes Rome Odunze, and you have Rashi Rice, and you're like, I don't want to do 1 for 1. How about, your win now? You want JMO too, and we'll throw in a 27 first. And I like JMO this year, but I think this is an absolute smash. Welcome to the community, my man, FD Forecast. And here's to the first of many, big time dynasty trades for you.
Yeah, good deal there, FD. Moving on here to trade 4, coming from B. Cole from the Patreon. We got one side with Justin Herbert and Brandon Ayuk, other side with Rome, Purdy, and a second. Snoog, I'll kick this one your way. Which side do we like?
Yeah, this is tough. I actually am like on the Ayuk train bouncing back. I do think it's going to happen. I'm stuck between like the Rome opportunity there. Like you could end up with a huge win from going from Ayuk to Rome. Like if Rome hits at his age, his prospect pedigree, kind of where he is with his team and who his quarterback is and coach, he's going to probably gain a ton of value. I really think Herbert and Purdy from like a fantasy football, like scoring points perspective, are going to be pretty close for a while, like in terms of just putting up stats. So I'm going to lean the Purdy side, but I really like Herbert over Purdy. But you're also getting a second in there. If that's early, that's a smash. And I think Rome is a big upgrade over Ayuk, even with the risk of if he goes out there and throws up 800 yards, 900 yards, he's probably not going to gain any value. But if Ayuk goes out there and stinks again, he's probably going to lose a ton of value because he's going to be, 28, 29 years old at this point, and that's just not good for fantasy wide receivers that are coming off 2 bad years. So,
Yeah, he's 27, turning 28. That's the game.
Yeah.
The thing is, Rome, Purdy and Herbert, right? I think Purdy's the most interesting dynasty fantasy football quarterback there is, right? Because he's going to put up fringe QB1 numbers year after year after year. And most people said to themselves, well, he doesn't have a contract and he was drafted late, so they're not committed to him. Now he got a bag, right? And nobody moved him up in value. Brock Purdy's not going anywhere. Brock Purdy is a set it and forget it QB somewhere between 9 and 14. And Herbert's going to be in that same area as long as Harbaugh's there. I mean, Herbert's not going to ever be a top 5 quarterback. I love Herbert, but Rome gives you the gap here to close that. I just did a show with Al Kalo. Again, make sure you guys check him out on Twitter at Al Kalo FF. He does a lot of good things in the Discord. Dude, Rome's going to break out. And even if he doesn't, he's got that name cachet. He's going to have a couple big games early with Ben Johnson where you're going to be able to flip him for more than this. And I think that's the key to it. We are 5 trades in. We are about to get to our
there it is.
I was going there. I was like, all right, give me one more before we get to the next spot. Next one. Oh, Dr. Bigums, my man.
Yes, sir. Dr. Bigums, appreciate you sliding through again. Appreciate the super chat. He's asking a mid to late 26 first or Chris Olave, Snoog. What do we think?
I think it's damn fair. I'm big on Olave's talent and his target volume opportunity with Kellen Moore out of the slot, playing that kind of CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith role. I don't love Tyler Shuck. It's another one of those situations, I think, where we could just slightly get better with this 26 first. So I think, in a nutshell, it's dead even. I like Olave, but I think I want the first for flexibility for what I can do with that first, if that makes sense.
That's the interesting thing with Olave is I can't find the build that I want him for, right? Because if you're contending, then I would rather take this late 26 first and get Tyreek Hill plus, and know that I'm going to get elite production. If I'm rebuilding, I want to use this first and buy, find my way to get Emeka Ibuka or something like that. That's somebody young. However, Chris Olave, I mean, you talk about this is the cheapest wide receiver one for his team in fantasy. He has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons before last year. Before last year, he had 159 receptions, 2,165 yards, 9 touchdowns. You look at a guy that when you talk about someone that's going to break out, you want them to have target volume and opportunity. He's going to have that. You want them to have flashed potential. I just shared that what he flashed already. You want him to have elite efficiency, and he's got over his career 2.15 yards per route run. That's top notch. He's in that Kellen Moore spot. The only way I'm buying Olave is a tier down. We're going to talk about a trade here where a guy gave up Drake London, and he got Olave in 2 firsts. I think you're tearing down to get Olave because Olave is going to increase in value. So if this is a truly mid to late first, Snoog, correct me if I'm wrong, but Chris Olave is a better talent than Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate. Clearly, right?
Definitely.
And at his age now, I believe he's 24 years old. There's no wide receivers next year. So I'm going to take the risk on Olave because the wide receiver class is bad. I mean, you didn't like this year's class, you're going to hate next year's class. It is not a wide receiver class.
Yep, I agree. I think Olave is the perfect rebuilding buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to this. Doof just put a super chat in that's going to tie into what we're talking about now, but I want to take the risk on Chris Olave in a rebuild because if he comes out and puts up 1,200 plus yards, he's gaining value, and he's probably kicked back into that foundational area like he was viewed as just a year ago before the season started.
And this is a great question because how many guys are we taking risks on? So it's really a matter of your team, right? Brock, I say it every single week when we talk about rebuilding. We're going to build it out and then we're going to build it up, right? So in the beginning, we're taking risks because we're building out. So if I have Kyler Murray, I'll trade Kyler Murray for Anthony Richardson in a mid first, right? Because then we have the opportunity that Anthony Richardson could rise in value. But worst case scenario, that 27 first covers it, right? Same kind of thing. If I'm taking, we already talked about where I'm moving. Let's move it down to not Garrett Wilson. Let's move it down to like T. Higgins. So if I give T. Higgins in a second to get Olave in a first, now I have that opportunity with that first. We always want to just keep building the whole thing out. We want to have a base where we have those foundational assets, we have those liquid picks, and I'm fine taking the risk. When we're moving into year 2 of the rebuild, now it's a matter of we always want to mitigate the risk. So now I'm not as risky, right? In the beginning, I'm risky. Once I want to start moving forward, now it's a matter of I want to know what the known commodities are. So I hope that makes sense for that particular question.
All right. And appreciate the super chat there, Doof, again coming through. This one coming from Patrick. Appreciate the super chat here, Pat. We got one side with Travis Hunter. Well, he's just asking, should he trade Travis Hunter? He has Lamb, Rice, and it's a 2 wide receiver start 9 league. Should he just keep his guys, Snoog? What do you think?
Keep Hunter. Why would you trade him? If you have those 2 wideouts, you can start 2 wideouts. I'm assuming in a start 9, you're going to be able to start at least 1 or 2 flexes. Keep Travis Hunter with those wide receivers. I think you have 3 really high upside plays that can gain a ton of value. And Rice and Hunter alone are guys that are going to win out of the slot. They're going to win with their feet. They're going to win, with good target volume and good offenses with good offensive-minded coaches. That's what you want, right? You want these wide receivers to check all these boxes, like Dad's tweet that he put out today, just checking those boxes for what you want for breakout wide receivers. Travis Hunter checks a lot of those boxes. Rashee Rice checks a lot of those boxes. CeeDee Lamb's been checking those boxes for 3 years now. So great core. I wouldn't break it up.
I think the interesting part here, Patrick, and a lot of people put this out there is, should I trade this player? Should I buy this player? I'm in 21 leagues. It's every single one is league dependent and price dependent, right? Like, so blindly to say, should I trade Travis Hunter? I mean, if you can get a 27 first plus a Zay Flowers, yeah, sure, do it. If you're only going to, it's all dependent on what your league looks like. If you're a win now team, give me a 27 first and Devontae Adams, and I'll go win the championship. And then I got a first in 2 years that's going to be top notch. If I'm rebuilding, Travis Hunter's the perfect guy that could increase in value. So, this is why we talk about it a lot. And again, in the Discord, if I see your roster I'm going to be able to diagnose this quickly and give you 10 different trade ideas where it's like, no, this is how we're going to move this. This is what we do. I think Snoog and I look at this a lot like, we both have financial advisors where they're giving you ideas of how to make your money work. And Snoog and I, we're giving you ideas to make your fantasy football roster work for you, and that's why we do the kind of things that we do, is just try to diagnose rosters, Snoog and I have done things in the past where we're always 4Xing our money. The worst year I've had in the last 5 years, I've doubled it. So I think in those kind of things, we want to teach you those same principles. We're not doing it from a bragging sense. We're doing it from like, let's teach you. And the guys that are in the Discord, there's a reason why they're not leaving. They're in there because they know they're getting good advice. And yo, here we go.
This next super chat coming from Megan, aka Snook's girlfriend, and she's saying #FTLOS, which is not for the love of the game, it's for the love of Snoog. So another ice cream headed out to Megan.
Hey, I was hoping I was going to get a super chat from Megan. We got that business we're going to start supporting. We'll get things going here.
All right, next one coming in from Robert Seamus. Appreciate it, Robert. He said Achane and a 26 first for Nico. Snoog while he's taking a sip. Which side do we like?
Give me A-Chain here, or A-Chain, however you
there we
want
go.
to say it. A-Chain. A-Chain in the 26 first. If it's early, you smash. If it's mid, you smash. If it's late,
it's fair.
You probably still
better.
smash, but
yeah.
It's fair.
We're doing all kinds of smashing on this one. Yeah, Nico's
People
great.
underestimate these type of deals, Dad. Getting a first on top of a stud for another stud usually ends up working out in your favor because those studs were taken in rookie drafts in first, most likely.
But if this is a second, I'm not doing it.
No.
I don't care about seconds as much as most people do. Like I would like if this is a 1-2 swap, I'd still do it. But a second, I'm not doing it. Like this is where and A-Chain is a guy that's going to win you leagues. So will Nico, but you're getting younger. You're going to get that pick on top. That's why we talk about insulation. And then what happens if A-Chain gets hurt? Now you use that 26 first and you buy Derrick Henry and you go win the championship, right? What happens if Nico gets hurt? Now all of a sudden you got to make a trade for less than what you have right here. And that's why insulating is so important.
Yep. I love that you said that thing about the seconds, Dad, because like second round picks for rookies matter on rookie draft day, and that's pretty much damn it. Like, they have no value other than that.
You just traded most startups I leave without my second. Like I don't have, again, across my 21 leagues, outside of my rebuilding teams, I don't own a second. I just don't, because I feel like I can create a way to make that trade without a second.
Yeah. This one coming in from Jordan Gorman over on Twitter. We got one side with Josh Allen, Tucker Kraft, and DeAndre Swift. Other side, T-Law, Kyron, Olave, Trey Harris in a second. I can already hear it in the background, Dad. Which side are we taking?
So here's the deal. Kraft and Swift should not even be in this trade. These are not turd sandwiches. These are not, bad players. Josh Allen is worth 4 firsts. On paper, you're not even getting 4 firsts. You're getting Lawrence, Kyron, Olave. All of them are mid to late first. Trey Harris, who's a second, which we just talked about seconds, and then you're throwing me a 26 second. The second is worth Swift. Let's wipe out Kraft and Trey Harris. Now all of a sudden you're trading Josh Allen for Trevor Lawrence, Kyron Williams, and Chris Olave. That is risky as hell. Give me Josh Allen all day long. Give me Jaden Daniels if that's him in there. Give me Lamar Jackson in that particular situation. I mean, I think this is a smash. This is a very intelligent trade, and it's how you win. And then we have another one here there's a bunch of quarterback trades here that are very, very interesting here in a row. So I'll get to the super chats, I promise. But we got a couple trades here I really want to hammer.
All right, this one coming from SSBB1248 from the Patreon. One side of it, Love, Neighbors in a 26 first. Other side, and a third on that side. Other side, Mahomes, Ginty, Olave, and Jordan Mason. Dad, which side do we like here?
Mahomes. I know most people mock me because I say I'm not a big Mahomes guy. The way I look at this is Neighbors and Ginty. Let's just make it Ginty and Mason for Neighbors, because I do think Neighbors is worth more. Then we talk about even Olave and the first can cancel out. So then it becomes Mahomes or Love in a third. I mean, I think there's still a late first gap between Love and Mahomes. As much as I'm in on Love, I can't do this as much as I would. I love Neighbors. I love Jordan Love. And even if this is early, I don't think it's a smash.
Yeah, it's tough. I saw this one in the Discord. The way I was trying to really look at it is like Neighbors and kind of Love for Mahomes, Genty, and Olave. And the first, it's just, I think I'm with Dad for sure with the Mahomes side, because I do really like Genty and Olave over Neighbors and a third. And I do think there's still a sizable gap between Mahomes and Love, because Love's good. He could score as many points as Patrick Mahomes, but there's also that chance Jordan Love ends up not being that good, right? Like he's flashed a really good year, and then he kind of had a down year last year. We know Mahomes is the best or second best quarterback in the league, depending on if you think Allen's better, Lamar's out better. He's a guy that we've known has been one of the best in the league for a long, long time. He's chasing GOAT status. That's what he's trying to do. He could be good for 15 plus years. I just think you want Mahomes there.
100%. Doof said super chatting again because Dad didn't give me the Doof. We got to love when Doof jumps on the show. Got another one here from John.
Let's do it. Appreciate the super chat here, John. Straight up right now, Keon Coleman or Jackson Dart, Snoog? Who do you like?
Jackson Dart all day long.
This goes off of 2 shows. We just did a show talking about sophomore slump or breakout. I think Keon Coleman is in that area potentially of another slump. And Jackson Dart on our rebuild show, who's one of the best buys in Dynasty you can literally have, because he's only going to increase in value. He will start sooner than later. So that one's a smash. I got to get as much
Absolutely
Jackson
agree.
Dart. Buy Jackson Dart now while he's cheap. I had an opportunity to draft him in Smash Accept 20, but I just couldn't pass on the veterans that fell to me. But get as much Jackson Dart as you can.
All right. Trade 7 here coming from Razzle over in the Patreon. We got T. Higgins and Amari and Hampton, or McLaurin, Brees, and a 27 first, Snoog. Which side are we thinking here?
I saw this in the Discord. I really love the Brees Hall side here. I think Hall has more upside than Amari and Hampton, just with the pass catching. And then getting a 27 first on top of Terry for T. Higgins, I thought was a no-brainer smash. I think Hampton and Hall are back-to-back in my rankings, are 2 spots apart. So that's pretty much a wash for me. But it's the Terry and Higgins swap with that first attach. I think you're getting the same production, maybe slightly less with Terry compared to Higgins, but a 27 first. By the time you make that pick, it's going to be worth more than Terry. It's probably going to be worth more or as much as T. Higgins in 2 more years. And you can wash out the running back. So I really like the Brees Hall side from a contending standpoint and honestly a rebuilding standpoint, because it gives me flexibility to take Terry and go get another first.
See, I like the T. Higgins side here. For me, I think if this is late, I'm taking a 27 first to upgrade twice. I think the gap in Dynasty between Terry McLaurin and T. Higgins is a lot larger than, that's probably a late first in general, because I think T. Higgins is now 104, 105. Terry's barely worth a first. The Brees Hall love, he's going to bounce back for sure. You have to have Hampton over Hall right now in Dynasty, I think, or at least in that same area. So I like to make these kind of trades, Brock, because you take that 27 first, and then to me, the gap between T. Higgins and Terry is at 27 first. So I'm almost upgrading twice with the illusion that I'm giving that first to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Trade 8 here coming in from AC310 over on the Patreon. We got one side with CD Lamb, other side JSN, Henderson, and a 26 first. Bring her out.
Yeah, we knew that was coming. But here's the deal. I see this all the time is people don't know how to value studs. They really don't. They either massively undersell or crazily over ask for a CD Lamb. So JSN and Henderson should be enough, right? JSN and a 26 first, that's not enough for me. So I think they need a little bit more. JSN and a 27 first, now we're cooking, right? But JSN and a 26 first, I still like CD Lamb. I think the CD Lamb side needs I think if this is RJ Harvey
Kamara or something,
or late first, early second type running back on the CD Lamb side, then I think we're back.
Yeah.
But for me, JSN, Henderson, that's just too good to pass up. You get basically 2 firsts on top of JSN, who's an ascending asset. 2 super chats here real quick.
All right, let's hit them. The first one's coming from Ty K. Appreciate the super chat, Ty. He's saying a 2026 second for Jake Ferguson. He think he'll be back to the 2024 form. So, Dad, you said you don't really care too much about 20 or seconds in general, but would you move one for Jake Ferguson or try and maybe find another option at tight end?
I think there's a cheaper way to buy Jake Ferguson. I have no problem going out there and getting him. I mean, Jake Ferguson was fantastic a year ago. And I want to just like pull up where he was before his injury and before Dak. He was putting up some monster numbers. I mean, considerably tight end 1 every single week. I would rather see you take a depreciating, wide receiver, add a third to him to get to Jake Ferguson. I think a 26 second you should be able to buy, in my opinion, who I have higher, say an Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram's a dark horse tight end 1 overall. Jake Ferguson, though, like I would do this a different way, 2 for 2, where it's like a 26 second and somebody you don't want for Jake Ferguson in a 26 third, or a pair of 26 thirds, or, package it that way. I just don't love Jake Ferguson enough right now to pay a second. That was his price before injury. Now I think he's cheaper.
Yep, I agree.
All right, next super chat coming in from Darth Twerk. He said, when Snoog and his girlfriend are together, do they snuggle or do they snoogle?
Oh, that's
Asking
a good question.
Important questions here, Darth.
Does she call you Snoog?
No.
Ah,
Nope. She doesn't.
I mean,
only on here she will.
Yeah,
for like to be funny.
No, that makes sense. My girlfriend calls me daddy, but that's a different situation. So here we go.
Next
Sorry,
trade
Manny.
coming in from Noel Scantleberry over on YouTube. We got one side with Jaden Reed, other side, Jaden Higgins. Dad, what do we think here? Which Jaden we like?
Battle of the Jadens here. Noel, thank you very much. I mean, I love when we get YouTube questions. We're getting almost every show. We're getting like 40 questions on there for trades. I'm on there like trying to answer as many as possible. The only way to guarantee that is for super chats on the show or in the Discord. But this one, I want Jaden Higgins. I mean, Jaden Reed's flashed, but I don't ever see him being a guy that's going to be a strong wide receiver 2 producer. I just think Jaden Higgins has a higher ceiling at this point. So I'm re-rolling the dice to get younger. And I think Nico Collins is great. Nico Collins' injury history is very high. So if Jaden Higgins gets the chance to be the alpha there for a season, you're going to see his value skyrocket. Jaden Reed's at that point where no matter what, his value is not going to go up that much. I mean, he's like cilantro. You love him or you hate him. There's very few that are all in on Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I agree with you there. They're a wash. I think Jaden Higgins has a better path to gaining more value. If Jaden Reed comes out and starts balling out, though, I do think that could kind of revisit some of that value that he gained in that short amount of time last year. But I do think, like, vice versa, if Higgins comes out and starts balling out, like, he's going to gain a ton of value, especially as a wide receiver, playing the number 2 role with CJ Stroud in that offense. I just think a lot better of a situation. So interesting to see how that one plays out. It's kind of a wash, though.
All right. Next super chat here coming from Oscar Alonso. Appreciate it, Oscar. He said, in a heavy 12-team Superflex rebuilding league or team, would you sell Purdy for cars or tires?
No, it's
Dart.
It's Dart. Yeah.
Hey, which letter was misspelled there? So Dart in a 27 mid-first. Love what you'll do. Appreciate it there, Oscar.
This is it.
Like that?
This is it. This is what I was just talking about. Is he's my number 1. JJ McCarthy's my number 1. Jackson Dart is my number 2. Jalen Milroe my number 3. Dynasty rebuilding quarterbacks to buy because all of them are going to ascend in value. Jackson Dart has the potential to be worth similar to Brock Purdy in a year or two. That 27 first also does. You're getting 2 shots here. I'm all in on this one. I mean, Oscar, thank you for the support. We love when you guys are in here too. So for me, I'm smashing this one. And Snoog, you're big on Dart as well. Like even that 27 first, if it truly looks mid, as much as we love Purdy, that value is probably what Purdy's worth in 2 years. So in 2 years, this is going to be a free Jackson Dart.
I agree. I like it.
All right. Trade 10 here coming from TWalk1FN over on Twitter. We got one side with Chase Brown, the 107, a 26 first, 207, 307. So his first, second, and third in his rookie draft from the 7 spot. Chase Brown and a 26 first on one side. Other side is Bijan and 2/3. Dad, I'll kick this one over here to you. Kind of maybe put some players, fill them in. We haven't seen some rookie pick trades in a while. Maybe who you could get at those picks to maybe make this worth it, or are we taking Bijan?
Okay, so most of the time at 107, you're getting either Cam Ward or Quinshon Judkins. I love both of those opportunities. Some leagues I've seen Hunter fall there. I mean, I've seen Henderson fall there. The 207, I think you're looking at a Jack Beck, a Kyle Williams, a Bashal Tootin, something. But again, it's giving you another opportunity to trade. So I'd rather trade that for a 27 second plus. 307, I'm going to roll the dice and I'm going to get myself Jarquez Hunter, Ollie Gordon, something that gives me another shot in the chamber. But Snoog, I'm trading Bijan Robinson for the 107 and the 26 first. I mean, give me Judkins, give me Chase, and then another first on top of that. That's so much potential to insulate from a volatile position.
Love this move, especially if I'm landing Judkins at that 1-7 spot, getting 2 stud, top 12 to 15 dynasty running backs,
Well,
and
now you can
26 first.
Talk to the guys that are going to go ahead of you. I mean, heck, trade the 107 and 207 and get up to Henderson, or if Judkins is your guy, now you're in position to get 2 really good running backs plus another first, right?
Absolutely love that deal.
I also love this handle right here.
Next one coming from the Jacked Cat over on Twitter. We got one side with Bijan and Juwan Jennings. Other side with Marv, Judkins, and Tank Bigsby. Snoog, which way are we leaning here?
Yeah, I want Marvin Judkins here. This is a closer one, in my opinion, but Juwan and Bigsby are basically washes. You can take them, chuck them out the window. Marvin Judkins, if Marv, I tweeted out today, 2025 is the year of Marvin Harrison Jr. If he lives up to that hype, he's going to be damn near close what Bijan's worth. It's a free Quinshon Judkins. There's a gamble, but I am confident enough that both Marv and Judkins are both going to be studs long term. Yeah. And I think one of them will be a superstar.
And it's taken Juwan Jennings, packaging him up to make it look more attractive, so it looks like it's a 2 for 2. There's also a shot that at some point Bigsby has some value to flip too. So I like this one too.
We like Bigsby.
All right, we hit 20 for the super chat, so we got a little extra added incentive. That'll go over that here in a bit. But we got this one coming from Mostly. Appreciate the super chat, Mostly. Snoog's already saying his answer.
This is all Snoog's guys in one trade. So Mostly, here we go.
12 team super flex start 9 contending
get
team.
That Kittle jersey.
One sign Chuba and a late 26 first. Other side Kamara, Kittle, and a 27 second. We know what Snoog's leaning, Dad. Which way are you leaning in this one?
I mean, if you're contending, it's Kamara and Kittle. I mean, the only way that I would consider this is if I go to the guy and I say, Chuba's great, and I try to flip that 26 first for something else. But I would end up ultimately probably trading that 26 first for a Kamara anyways. So I love that. We did hit 20 super chats. Snoog, if you could pull up draftkits.co again, I want to kind of go over what people are going to get. You are not getting a base level. Like, they have everything on their website. You can get a base level stock board where once you have that, let me know. There we go. You can get a base board, which they have there, where you look at it. Those are the customs at the top. The customs are what I have behind me here. It's high vinyl. You redo every single year. You peel and stick. My kids' league has it. Those are your stock boards there. You'll get a free one of those with free shipping. But if you want to really upgrade, you want to go all in, that gives you an opportunity to use that as a $25 incentive to go buy the big board. I really suggest that you do that. I've done it for all my leagues. Like, the guys absolutely love it because you get that draft board. You can look at last year's, right? So we talk about it. We're all drunk anyways. We get the draft board out. You look at it from last year and you're like, oh my gosh, you took Cooper Kupp in the second, you moron. And you just talk trash. Then you take all the stickers off. You have a little bit of fun, and then you put the new ones out. You bring the new stock of stickers in. All you got to do is buy the stickers every year. And instead of $25 every year, and then you throw it out, you keep it. You get the new stickers. It's a
Yep.
nice investment if you have a long-term league, and you can get whatever you want on it, right? Like my kid says Royer Family Values Draft, and then it has a picture of they have Josh Allen, Tom Brady, and the Teen Titans Go. Like they put those guys on there.
That's sick.
It's an awesome board. I'll have to get it out for next week. So let's keep it
That's
going.
cool.
You guys, again, code DAD25, and you will get 10% off there, even if you don't get the free one tonight.
All right. Trade 12 here coming from John Lapistola from the Discord. We got one side with an early to mid 26 first, Jonnu, and a 28 first. Other side is Kittle, a Benson, and a 27 first. His team is good, but old. So what do you think here, Snoog? Should he take Kittle, Benson, and compete while getting that 27 first?
This one was tough for me because the way I was trying to look at it is like Kittle and Benson over Jonnu and a 28 first. But early 26 first versus a random 27 first is tough, but it's old, he said. So there's a chance it could be early.
And it's not his. It's somebody else.
I was going to say, first thing I will say, though, if that's my own 26 first and 28 first, I'm not trading it. It's not. Okay, so they're random. I do like the Kittle side, especially as a contender, because I want to gamble on that 27 first, because that's a top 5 pick. It's probably going to be worth, let's say top 3 to 5 pick. It's probably going to be worth a 26 first and 28 first alone, in my opinion, in that class. And then it's kind of Kittle for Jonnu. So I think that's a really good opportunity here.
Benson and Jonnu kind of cancel out. And then the Kittle if it's a Kittle and a 28 first cancel out. So then it really becomes that early to mid 26 first or that random 27 first. And this is literally how you like to play. You know, if you're a rebuilding team, I'm making this trade to get the 27 first, and then I'm going to flip Kittle for another first. I mean, it's just a crazy trade. I liked it because you can take it from either side. The 27 first, it's all about that forecasting. Same with the 26 is like so many of you guys are blindly trading a 26 for 27. That's not good fantasy principle. If you can predict where it's going to be, it is, right? But like trading a pick, it's like a dollar bill in your hand to invest right now is worth a dollar bill that you're going to get in 2 years to invest. You know, like you take what the current thing is if you can, and then you flip it. Because every year we want those rookie picks, right? So like that early 26 first, next year you're going to trade for a 27 first plus just because it's cyclical. And we're going to love that 27 class. But 23 was like this. And in 2022, people still wanted those picks. A lot of them were trash, but they wanted those picks because everybody wants that new hotness. You know, like everybody wants what's right in front of them.
Real quick, pull up that comment by Jacob Parr.
That's
right below.
I can't do it.
Like Concho. You can't see it. I was going to say he was shouting you out, Dad. I'll just read it real quick. He said, finally joined Discord tonight at VIP level. First ever Discord for me. Dad has helped me so much for free. I almost started to feel bad not throwing you all a few bucks to get more in-depth, great advice. That's what it's all about. Shout out to Dad putting in the work. Yeah. At the end of the day, we have other lives. He has kids. We both have girlfriends. We both have full-time jobs. We both have lives. We go on vacation with family. We do other stuff, but we try to put as much time and effort into helping every single one of you. Obviously, we'd do it all for free if we could. If it was time worthy and we didn't have to pay bills, that would be the case for us. But we appreciate you guys always, and we try to just be in there as much as we can and answering questions and helping you guys out.
Sorry, I had to dig for that one, but Jacob, I appreciate that. You know, like this is when we answer questions, we're always answering initial, and Jacob and I have probably for 2 years, I've, tried to help him out with trades here and there. And then I appreciate you joining in. That means a lot. It means you guys, when you do this, again, essentially you're looking at us as fantasy football advisors. We're giving you the insight to help make you guys money. And when Snoog and I know that we're doing that to help you guys, that really means a lot to us. Mike Honcho.
All right. This super chat coming in from Mike Honcho. Appreciate it, Mike. We got one side with Tracy Olave, a late second or third. Other side, a late second or third. I guess he can decide. Other side is DK and Josh Jacobs. Dad, what do we think here?
This is perfect. This is taking a bunch of – I like Olave, but you're taking a bunch of seconds, which I don't value super heavily, and you're getting 2 upgrades all day. All day. Give me the Jacobs and DK side for sure. Renee Ruiz has a double here. Hit the first one. Here's the second one.
All right. Appreciate the super chats here, Renee. 10-team Superflex Dynasty. Should he send Amon-Ra and Derrick Henry for Ashton Jeanty? Dad, what do we think?
So in my head, right, I think Amon-Ra and Jeanty are very close. I think, man, you want Jeanty. Like, you just, the kid in all of us is like, I want that new shiny toy. Like, give me that. And Amon-Ra is so good. If you're contending, I think I want the Amon-Ra side. If you're building though, and you have the depth, I think taking a Derrick Henry and adding it to Amon-Ra, if I could get a second back, or early second, I would consider it. But Renee, I'm sticking with Amon-Ra here because it's very safe. Amon-Ra's been top 5 back-to-back seasons. He's going to do it again this year. The gap between Amon-Ra and Jeanty is a second. Derrick Henry's worth a late first.
Absolutely agree. I want the Amon-Ra side here. I think the gap between them is small, between Jeanty and Amon-Ra. Like you said, you're getting a foundational asset back, still a young, 24, 25-year-old stud wide receiver, but you're getting a shot at an RB1, a guy that's probably fully healthy 17 games, probably scores as much or more than Ashton Jeanty this year if he's healthy and he builds off last year with this Ravens offense. So there's a chance you're getting two round 1-2 redraft picks for one round 1 to 2 redraft pick. So from like a dynasty and like a win now perspective, I think it's a win-win on both sides for you.
So I got a comment on this one, and I have no problem with Adam. I want to just clarify this. So Adam Marston says, I hate when people say late or mid to anything more than the upcoming draft. You have no idea how much the league will change in even a year. This is something that's become a bit of a hot button topic. I know Snoog and I do this all the time, is when you trade for it. Okay. And this is me on my soapbox here real quick. I say it all the time, but when I trade my 26 or 27 first and I project it late, I trade it as a mid value, as a random value. If I buy someone else, or I'm sorry, when I'm buying it, I trade it as if it's going to be late. When I'm selling it, I trade as if it's going to be mid to early. So you can forecast out ahead. You can look at a roster and say, this looks like a mid. This looks like a late. This looks like an early. Yes, things can change. But the idea is that you price it so it doesn't matter. So if I value, when I trade him that first and say it's early and it ends up being mid, I valued it as mid all along. When I trade that mid and pretend to, say that I was trading a late first, then all along I was predicting it was going to be late. So I think so much of this is really, you have to project it. There are tried and true reasons. There are things to look at, the core value of teams. A lot of times I can look at a roster and be like, you know what, 2 years from now, this team has Henry and Hunter or not Hunter, Henry and Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams and no 26 first. Yeah, that 27 first is probably going to be early because in 2 years, that's kind of what it's going to look like. Is it 100%? No, but when you factor in that you're trying to already bake in that it's going to be on the opposite end of the direction, that's how you win. Sorry, I had to get that out there because anytime I post something on Twitter about something being early, mid to late, you have to project it, right? Like, we are playing a game of stocks. Does anybody buy a stock and not think of which way it's going to go? No, you have to project that way.
Have to project. Otherwise, don't buy rookie picks if you're not going to project.
Trade 13 here coming from Brocker Shocker over on the Patreon. We got one side with, was that the right one there?
Nope.
All right, no tight end premium here. Do we like Laporta or Chase Brown, Snoog? Which one?
You know what I'm going to say. I want Chase Brown here all day long. Going to score more points, better player, better situation to thrive and put up a ton of points. So give me George Kittle over Sam Laporta and then give me Chase Brown.
I love Chase Brown. I honestly, Sam Laporta is growing on me the more I dig into it. I mean, Snoog, we've talked about it before, but I was starting to pull things up. He had that lingering hamstring injury in August. He was the tight end 1 in 0.5 PPR in his rookie season. Last year, 3.6 targets, 2.8 receptions, and tight end 14 through the first 9 games. He had that injury. He was not getting the target volume. The final 8 games, once he got healthy after the bye week, 7.3 targets, 5 receptions, tight end 5. As long as you're treating him right now value-wise, you're getting him at a discount. I mean, he finished out really strong. I think he's going to bounce back this year. I'm taking Laporta, but it's perfectly fine if you need the running back to go chase. I think Laporta has slightly more value. Sorry, I like Laporta is someone that I'm starting to come around on because when iron sharpens iron, Snoog was like, let's start selling him. I'm like, let me figure out why, right? Let's take a look at this. And I'm starting to come around on the other side where I'm buying again.
Love it.
All right, trade 14 here coming from Michael Cullen over on Twitter. We got one side with Jaden Daniels and a 2027 first, other side with Herbert, Rice, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Let me pull this one up because we got to be this one's Snoog. I want to get your opinion here because I said my opinion and he didn't quite like it. Oh, okay, all right. What are you ringing here?
I'm cowbell and Justin Herbert's side all day long, baby.
Yeah.
3 foundational pieces, 2 foundational wide receivers, 1 top 5 wide receiver, 1 top 10 quarterback, and then a top 14 to 15 wide receiver. I think like everybody's a sell. It's hard to say go sell Daniels, but if you can get hauls like this in your league, he's a sell. If you can't, you keep him. But if you can get like something like this done, which a lot of people have in the Discord and on Twitter, Lamar, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, all those guys are a sell if you're getting hauls like this, where you're getting another elite quarterback and 2 foundational wide receivers. Think about what your team will look like. Say you have Daniels, a couple good stud wide receivers. Say you have a Daniels, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, and then your QB2's like Matt Stafford, a little weaker there. But say you're starting like Matthew Golden and someone like that at flex. Like think about flipping Golden for a Rashee Rice, flipping another one for Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then just sliding Herbert into that Daniels role. That's crazy. I think that's such a big way to tier up an entire lineup where you're literally getting 3 elite assets that can all finish top 5 at their position.
I think Daniels, the interesting part to me is if this is a mid 27 first, that's worth more than Rashee Rice. So we'll take that out of the equation. Now it becomes Herbert and Amon-Ra or Jaden Daniels. And that's where you get to the interesting part of you have 2 mid-seconds for the 101 or 102. And that's hard to do. I mean, if that was Josh Allen, I think, would you still make the same call?
Yeah, I'd still take I love that Herbert side. Just seeing those 3 names is like, wow.
I get it. I was slightly leaning the Daniel side unless you need the depth there. But you're getting 2 foundational wide receivers. I just don't value – again, I love it on dynastydaddy.com. I pull up my ownership. I have 0 Justin Herbert. As soon as I draft him, I trade him. I just don't own Justin Herbert because I think he's worth more than he puts up production-wise. But the Amon-Ra part, I see it completely. We got our 25th super chat here, guys. We're not going to get to all 25 trades because you guys have been hitting us up, and we really love that. We appreciate that. So let's hit up Tips for Tricks. Great name.
Let's do it. Appreciate the super chat here, Tips. We got a Superflex league. One side of it, 2026 and 2027 first. Kyron, Metcalf, and May. Other side, Lamar, Andrew Stack, and then also Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Oh,
wait.
No, I'm taking – what do you – I mean, for real, like take a look at this a little bit closer. Lamar is worth May and at least the 1 first.
Yeah.
Gibbs is worth more than Kyron in the first. And then Metcalf,
Lamar.
You got to take Lamar and Gibbs. You're getting
I just had to look through it again because at first I was just seeing the 3 for 3 and I was like, what?
No,
and then I saw the 2 first. So I was like, oh.
I mean, Drake May's a foundational quarterback in my opinion. The other assets there, you're just using to get to 2 insanely elite game-winning, league-winning type players in Lamar and Gibbs. They don't come around often. When you get an opportunity to get these guys, you go out and you make that purchase. You go ahead and get it. So I like this one a lot. We'll get to a couple here, quick hitter. We'll just rattle them off. Just go Snoog me, get it going.
Let's do it. This one is from Sean Hunter in the Patreon. One side, London and Scatabo. Other side, Terry first the next 2 years, and Jordan Mason. Snoog, what do we like here?
Seeing 2 firsts attached to a name like Terry just seems so juicy, but trading a foundational asset and a young rising stud running back like Scadabos. Not ideal. Rebuilding, I want the Terry side because I'm going to go flip Terry for some more picks and just completely insulate like that. Contending wise, I actually probably want to lean. I'm just going to take Terry regardless here. I think Terry's going to give us.
Contending, I want the Terry even more. Flip him on top of it. Rebuilding, I think you might. Yeah, you're still sticking that way.
Yeah.
Next one from Hammy over from Twitter. Ladd and Hampton, nice Charger stack. Other side, Kenneth Walker, Roma Dunze, and Trevion Henderson. Dad, which side do we like here?
I always say this one, league context is going to matter a lot. If it's 12 team, it's Walker, Rome, and Henderson. If it's 14, it's a smash for the little bit of extra depth. I love Henderson. I think the gap between Henderson and Hampton is minimal in comparison to what we're talking about. But Walker and Rome, I would rather have over Ladd. I think Rome closes that gap with Ladd. It's almost like by the end of the year, I think this is going to be a free Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Next one coming from Sierra Mist 31 over on Twitter. This was the one that Dad was alluding to earlier. We got London on one side. Other side is Olave, Reed, and 226 first. Snoog. We taking that?
Yeah, that's a cowbell all day.
Even if they're late, that's the process. And I said that and I was really shocked. He goes, "Really, Dad? Like I thought you loved London." And I do. I do love Drake London, but at its core, he's worth 3 firsts maximum. Right now, to me, I have him worth 2.5. This is 3.5. This is what you pay price wise for a Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas Jr., maybe even a CD Lamb. So I think this is a smash.
Yeah. Next one coming from Brownleck over on the Patreon. We got Gibbs and Brian Thomas on one side. Other side, Jonathan Taylor, Amon-Ra Addison, and a 26 first. Dad, kick this one over here to you.
Gibbs and BTJ. Yeah, there's a lot of nice assets on that other side.
Yeah, really.
I mean, you can almost take BTJ and Amon-Ra and take them out, but I'd still rather have Gibbs over Addison and the 26 first. The 26 first is not all that exciting, Snoog. It has to be early for you to win this trade. Gibbs and BTJ are winning you leagues.
Yeah, it's just hard to trade Gibbs and BTJ when you have them.
Ever doing it.
Yeah, it's just that is a nice haul you're getting. If you do something like this, you better be kind of rebuilding, trying to just venture out, part out, or it better be a start 12 or start 11 deeper.
But if you're rebuilding, are you buying Jonathan Taylor and Amon-Ra?
No,
they're both.
I think Amon-Ra maybe, but not
20,
JT.
25, 26, so he's kind of peaked in his value. He's going to give you production, though.
Yeah.
All right, next one coming from W Bacon 12. We got one side with Mahomes, other side with McCarthy, a 26 first, a 27 first. Yeah.
Bring it out. I'm making you make me ring this. Say it.
Ring the cowbell.
Woo! McCarthy, baby. Hey, I would trade Patrick Mahomes for McCarthy in a 27 first if it's mid to early. I would do it. 26, no. But I think that's why he's my biggest dynasty rebuild buy, is that you can make a trade like this, and I think he's gonna really ascend in value. Last one here.
All right, trade 20 here.
So this one's tough.
Coming from TNA Gym 10 over in the Patreon. We got one side with Caleb Williams, other side Jared Goff and Jonathan Taylor. Snoog, what do we think?
You're gonna ring it for Caleb here?
I'm ringing it for Caleb here. Yeah, I am.
If you're contending,
if Jonathan Taylor has another injured, all right, I'm going to give you both sides. All right, the good side for the Jonathan Taylor side, JT and Goff both just have really good years. They're good, strong vets. They help you win. Caleb Williams kind of doesn't really shine like we think he's gonna. Okay, you probably lose that trade. But if Caleb Williams balls out and has an insane year too, and even if Goff and JT are both good, you're going to get absolutely smoked in this trade. But if JT gets hurt again, or if Goff has a down year without Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams shines like that, there's a chance that Caleb can reach that top 5 QB range. If he throws 4,000 yards, 30, 40 touchdown passes, and rushes for 500 yards, he's going to finish top 5. And in that case, his value is going to skyrocket through the roof, where I don't think there's a scenario where Goff and JT can do anything to be up there with the level of Caleb Williams. So that's kind of my perspective.
2 quick super chats. Let's get the board ready to roll. Adam Marston says Jordan Love or an early to mid 26 first. Zero chance that it's the 101. Brock, what do you think?
Then just keep Jordan Love in that instance because you're going to want him over any quarterback next year, over any running back that's not Love. You could get Love for Love, but I don't think you're going to get him.
Sellers at 102 could be worth more in a year's time, but I think Jordan Love definitely is the safer play there for sure. And last one here, my man Dr. Bigham says another Tuesday night well spent. Thanks, fellas. What I really like is you look up at the top there and the numbers are cruising up into the 1,500, 2,000 people watching live, which to me is just awesome because there was a time where, we were debating starting something up and, you're like, oh my gosh, will we ever even get like 20 views, and now it's 2,000 people watching you live. It's a fun experience. I'm glad that you guys join in, share it with your friends, get things going. We have a lot of great things on the docket. We're going to start doing some satellite redrafts so you guys can get into our future Smash Accepts. We got the draft boards like I talked about, draftkits.co. That'll get you code DAD25, gets you 10% off. We got a lot of cool things. I mean, there's a couple things I got to share with these guys that I got 2 offers today that are, really kind of juicy to spice things up. So we're excited with everything that's going on at Smash Accept. We appreciate you guys. Check us out, patreon.com/Smash Accept. Let's give away let's do the $5 basic month to the Patreon. Here we go. Oscar Alonso. All right. Welcome to the Patreon. Make sure you guys, if you guys do win these, DM us on Twitter or DM us on YouTube. Also, if you win and you're already in the Discord, we will give you a link to give to a friend. That way, you can share it on here. Now we got to give away 2 VIP Patreon months. So go ahead and hit it.
Doof.
Doof. There we go. One more. All right, Robert Samus. And the last one, we will be giving away your draft board. As soon as you get this, message me. I have a code for you to go over there and order the draft board. And there's only one thing, one stipulation. I want to see your draft board at your party. So Rene Ruiz seems like the guy that's going to get it actually with back-to-back spins there. But let's see who we got.
He shuffled up the board.
Shuffled it a couple times.
Yeah, back-to-back spins and questions in there. Let's see who it is. Matthew Miller, congratulations. Make sure you guys reach out, do those things. Guys, we love all the support. We love all the, everything that you guys have done. We're here to try to help you guys win. We're here to give you the best content, the best information we can. Make sure you guys, he's criminally underrated. I don't know how he's not reached 1,000 followers on Twitter, but Brock, tell everybody where they can find you because you got that fresh apartment behind you. Things are looking good. Let's get my man to 1,000 followers.
Things are looking good. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Broc Dynasty. I'm start posting more, start getting a little more content out there. But make sure to follow them too at Dynasty Dad FF at FF Snoog. The best content in the industry, hands down. You guys won't regret it. Obviously, if you're here watching, you already know. So we do appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, thanks again for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the process. Woo!